Dear learners, now let's understand the concept of visible and invisible trade. In this section, we will explore the concepts of visible and invisible trade, which are crucial components of a nation's balance of payments. Visible trade refers to the exchange of tangible goods, while invisible trade involves the trade of intangible services. Understanding these concepts is essential for comprehending the dynamics of international trade and its impact on a nation's economy. Visible trade, also known as merchandise trade. It comprises the import and export of tangible goods such as machinery, vehicles, raw materials, and consumer goods. These are physical products that can be seen and touched. Now, on the other side, invisible trade, also known as services trade. It includes transactions involving intangible services such as financial services, tourism, transportation service, consulting, and even intellectual property rights. Unlike visible trade, which involves physical goods, invisible trade involves services that cannot be seen or touched, but those are also essential for economic growth and development. Now, let's jump to understand the concept of current account balance of any country. In this section, we will see what are the key components of a nation's balance of payments. In simple words, the current account reflects the net flow of goods, services, income, and transfers between a country and the rest of the world over a specific period, usually for a particular financial year. Now, this means it actually checks what the country has imported and exported in a particular period. The current account balance is calculated using the following formula. That is, current account balance is equal to income from exports of goods and services minus expenses in import of goods and services. Here, exports of goods and services include the total value of goods and services exported by a country to another nation. And imports of goods and services include the total value of goods and services imported by a country from other nations. Now let's understand what is trade surplus and what is trade deficit. A trade surplus occurs when the value of a country's exports exceeds the value of its imports. This results in a positive current account balance, indicating that the country is exporting more than its import. Now, for example, consider a country who exports $200 billion worth of goods and services and imports $150 billion worth of goods and services. Then current account balance for that country would be $50 billion, indicating a trade surplus. On the other hand, trade deficit occurs when the value of a country's imports exceeds the value of its exports. This results in a negative current account balance, indicating that the country is importing more than it is exporting. For example, suppose if a particular country exports $100 billion worth of goods and services but imports $150 billion of goods and services, then the current account balance for that country would be minus $50 billion, indicating a trade deficit. So, in conclusion, visible and invisible trade are essential components of a nation's international transactions, representing the exchange of tangible goods and intangible services. And understanding the dynamics of visible and invisible trade is crucial for analyzing a country's trade patterns and economic performance. Well, I hope you love this concept. Stay tuned for another interesting concepts.